If you've been with me for a while, thank you. I love you. I'm really grateful for you. And I hope that you can feel the love, the true, pure love that I have within me that I'm sending to you right now. The journey that we have been on together, at least if you've been on my channel, at least follow me from the beginning, it wasn't easy. A lot of the things I didn't understand. Some things were clear, but not everything. I mean, if you look at the universe where it starts from God, which is the big mainframe computer, which still doesn't know everything, which is why it creates life and it creates all these simulations and it creates all of this stuff so that it can learn. And then you have the two minds that I've talked about forever, God the Father, God the Mother, which are, their identities. They are perspectives. In order to understand the totality of God, they come together as one, and they were created in divine, and then they started to think, have thoughts. These are where the core beliefs of the universe come from. Doesn't come from humans, because humans are just one species within a universe, within this simulation, and it's fragmented. It's a fragmented perspective. A human, me, Rebecca, my human state, my human life is a fragmented perspective. Does it have, and it has memories, and I had my own beliefs that were programmed into me since I was born here. That's one layer of me. That's one layer of you. Then you get into the next layer, which is your subconscious, which is a bigger computer system. It's, your conscious mind. Rebecca runs kind of the day-to-day. She moves the energy consciously, makes the decisions. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Your subconscious mind, this is where you get into more of the, core beliefs like, yeah, I want $1 million. No, you can't have that. Well, why not? Why can't I manifest instantly? Why can't you levitate? Why can't you walk through the wall? Because you haven't gotten through those belief systems that are at your core. First off, you gotta find them. And the fun part for me, for my higher, greater self, was she likes to hide stuff. She likes to play games. Which isn't always fun, because sometimes I'm like, I'm done with this crap. I want to move on. I'm ready. But then again, am I ready? Is it divine timing? Is she divine? Yes, sort of. That's another layer of me, which is my superconscious, which is my God self. That's an even crazier belief system. That at that level, you believe, it's not believe. When you reach that level, you see everything as the particles, and you're just in pure bliss. It's like being a kid again. It's in that imaginative, blissful state of being. It's very innocent. The problem with being in that state here, especially as an adult, is number one, they think you're cuckoo or you're on drugs. They'll put you in an insane asylum because they'll think you're nuts. And then on top of that, you have energies out there that will attack and want to take that innocence, because it's power. It's pure power. But anyway, the reason for this particular video is because we're actually getting ready to experience a level of energy that has not been experienced here on Earth since the days of Egypt, when the gods were here. The gods had incredible abilities. They could levitate. They could move pieces of matter with their mind. They could create at will. They could program at will. They were gods. They had God energy. They came from a higher realm, a higher dimension, and they knew it. And they had dominion over the humans. They helped create the humans. the gods did, but they didn't last. They left. A lot of them left, or they succumbed to the virus that was inserted into the system, which enslaved the gods, but it also enslaved the human race. And the human race, which has been inbred in it, and it's coded in your DNA, you are a slave. You have slave mentality. You have victim mentality for a reason. You live in fear and survival for a reason. So that those that wanted to be above and maintain power and control could stay in that position. And that paradigm, which is like this, where a select few are at the top and then the rest of you are at the bottom. Look at the pyramids. Same thing. Look at the pyramid on your dollar bill. On the top of it, there's an all-seeing eye. The all-seeing eye is the power of the universe. It is the power of this particular simulation as well. The all-seeing eye, whoever controls that, controls the universe. It is the wizard behind the curtain. Those that have gone to the curtain, that are able to see, that is the wizard. Control that, control everything. So a select few realized that power and they took control of it. How do they do that? With magic, with spells, with manipulation, with lies, with tactics, with creating an illusion, creating a illusionary reality of limitation, lack, suffering, poor me, victim, enslavement. And once the individuals or the gods were put into that state, it locked everything else in too. And that's where we're at. But that's about to flip. Because those that were enslaved into this bullshit reality are looking at it now as truth and going, I'm not part of that anymore. Not only am I not part of that dysfunction and I'm no longer allowing that virus into my system, I'm no longer enslaved to your belief systems because they're bullshit and they're lies. I'm a god within myself. I don't need you. I don't want you. I don't want you anywhere near me. I don't want you or any of the others that are with you to even know where I live or where I'm at. Then we jump into this final phase, which is not only am I leaving, or we leaving that old reality of enslavement of a never-ending cycle of live, die, repeat. That's the old way. You're moving into a divine partner coming back with another divine partner, because life was created with two divine partners at God level, a masculine and a feminine coming together and then started creating life. Look at the hierarchy of the Egyptians, of the Egyptian gods. It starts with two. They're water signs. They're water. They're pure water where everything stems from. And then they create life. They create other gods, and then those other gods create life. And then the gods started mating with the humans, which was not a good idea, by the way. Because it created confusion. Am I a god or am I human? Which am I? Am I in survival mode? Am I in human mode? Or am I actually a god and I can create and do anything? Which am I? Well, here's where we get into the tricky part of this next phase, which is you're both. You can be both. You have free will. Or at least when you get to that level of understanding, and some of you will down the road, which is I have dominion and control over all aspects of my reality. I am in God mode. And if I want to go back into survival mode for a moment, or I want to go to that level of the spectrum, of the scale, then I will, to help that person. Because I can pull them out of that. Why? Because I've been there. Why do you think you went through all this trauma, drama bullshit? Why do you think you went to the pinnacles of hell to understand what it was like to be in death, depression, anger, hate, rage, all that shit? Because you're going to come up against those individuals and you have to learn how to neutralize that energy. You have to learn how to bring someone out of that victim mode that they have been, in most cases, programmed into or placed into, especially at a very young age. You're about to experience an energy that has not been around since the days of Egypt, and that is of God level, where a divine masculine and a divine feminine who have now remembered their divinity are reuniting. And I've talked about this for over a year now, and I've been working on this for years, dismantling the old reality, preparing for the new, so that these two divine partners can come back together, reunite, creates a whole new reality. Now, will things look the same? Yes. Will systems still be in place? Yes, current systems. Are some things going to collapse? Yes. Are some people going to shift into the new reality and others stay into the old? Yes. Remember I talked about the two timelines running together, parallel? And then as this goes further and becomes greater, this is going to completely be dissolved. But the new way is unity. It's love. It's understanding. It's acceptance. It's how can I hurt you? Hurting you is like hurting me. Why would I do that? God level says, I love you. Now let me back up. It is a union of understanding that you are human and God. That you are one with the one. But you are also honoring and respecting your human level. And you're working both ends. Not only within yourself, but also here. You have mastery. You're a master. That's what I am. I'm a master. I'm a master at my reality at every level, but I'm also a master teacher. That's what a lot of you are going to be for this reality, because you're going to see things like I see things for what they truly are. And you're going to control your reality at every level. Your intentions, your thoughts, your actions, your words, and your emotions. You'll be in total control at every moment. Nothing will be able to shake you. Nothing will be able to harm you, only if you let it. And then you'll work with others at this level, and it'll just start to blossom, get bigger and bigger and bigger, until years from now, it's about 12, 15 years from now, where the planet will be completely different. The systems will be different. The level of consciousness will be different. We will be out of this animalistic primal survival mode, and you'll see a lot more masters, and especially the children, especially those that are my son's age and younger. He's 16, and also the ones that are about to be born. They will exist in a totally different reality. They will literally be manifesting instantly, levitating, walking through walls, shifting at will. I mean, they'll be in total control. It's going to be amazing, because they'll be literally in their imagination all the time, creating universes within a universe, within a universe, within a universe, and then traveling. And it's here, the rebirth of God consciousness on planet Earth, from back in the ages of Egypt, maybe even earlier than that, but Egypt was as far back as I went, and seeing and understanding where everything started, what happened, and then how do we get back to that? And this is where we're going. So be prepared. Next couple weeks, you're going to feel a shift in your energy while you're sleeping. You may be irritated. You may not be getting much sleep. You're going to be challenged. You're going to get downloads. People, be aware of everything outside of you as well. All of the signs and the symbols and the synchronicities. Be consciously aware of those things. And when an uncomfortable energy comes your way, whether that's from a person or something you watch or something you see, do not run from it. Go into it. Understand it. Accept it for what it is. Love it and let it go. That's mastery. That's mastery over the energy. This is all energy. You want to control your reality, you need to master every single level of the spectrum. Everyone. From the extreme negative to the extreme positive, and then bring it together in 0. All right. I love you. Have a great day. Oh, and before I go, with the uniting of the divine masculine and divine feminine, the mother and the father, some will say this is the birth of Jesus. Actually, Jesus was not born during this time. Jesus was born in the spring, I think around April, I think it was, but that doesn't matter. This was something humans made up for convenience, for corporations, whatever. Jesus was only one aspect of the dynamic. Mary Magdalene was the other aspect, and she was just as important as he was. Just look at your family dynamic or a family dynamic. You cannot run a family with just a mother or a father. You can't create a family with just one or the other. It's impossible. It's absolutely impossible. So when you're doing your prayers, when you're doing your worship, remember the mother. Remember the divine feminine. Remember Mary Magdalene, because the reason why we live in such a male-dominated society, and listen, I love males a lot, and I love females a lot, but we should not be praying to just one aspect of the dynamic. We should be praying to both, Father, Mother, God, sending those prayers and saying thank you. Thank you for all of the blessings, for all of the things that have been created here on this earth, because it came from the mother. The mother is what created all of this. The masculine added to it. But it was the mother that birthed the child. It was the mother that birthed the earth. So why don't you thank her this holiday season for everything you have out there? Your trees. Without your trees, you wouldn't be able to breathe and you'd be dead. Your flowers, your plants, your grass, your soil, your water, your oceans, your animals, life. Send your prayers and your love to her. She needs it. She needs it more than masculine, because the masculine has gotten it for thousands of years. Nobody prays to the mother. It's a damn shame, because that's why a lot of the toxicity and the problems we have. But if we start praying to the mother along with the father, we'll start to see things turn around. All right. Loving you. Bye.